Being a hairstylist as well as a trichologist is like the best of both worlds. It's kind of in a sense like the doctor and nurse relationship. You have the nurse at the bedside getting a first-hand report on what's going on with that patient. As a hairstylist standing behind the chair, I get a first-hand report on what's going on with the hair and scalp. With trichology, it's like the doctor in a sense. We have to assess what the root cause of that issue may be and come up with a treatment plan to help you manage and treat that issue. So for me, being a hairstylist as well as a trichologist, it's the best of both worlds.
With that heat, depending on your style. Period.
Yes.
So, question number 5. What should my hair look like based on how I see myself? So, I was just like, okay, this is very, it might be interesting because I'm like, what? Like, what are you saying now? And most of these questions were asked by women. So we are going to say she and her and ma'am a lot.
Yes.
So most of these questions were asked by women and mostly women. Okay. So when I thought about this, I said, okay, but I think you're asking me something else, right? Maybe you're asking me a question based on, what is your lifestyle, right? So for your lifestyle, maybe you have a job where you need to look polished always, right? And I remember earlier in my career, I made a conscientious decision to say, I don't want to do styles that are going to bring me a certain element, that is non-progressive. And what I meant by that is like, these are temporary styles. I'm only going to see you for an evening. I want a woman who's in the boardroom. Yeah. I want a woman who has, business, responsibilities. Because she needs to look like something always. So she's going to be here always, So that was, what type of job do you have? So your job and your lifestyle is going to cater to, what your hair should look like, for how you see yourself, right? Um, how do you desire to wear your hair? It's like that's another question. Yes. Because sometimes I'm going to say this, and not in a negative way, but sometimes people have a sense of delusion in what they feel like their hair can do versus what it actually can. Right. So they're looking at, Instagram pictures. Right. And being able to deal with. Right. And achieve a look. It's like, you're not there yet. Yes. And you may never be there. Right. So that is my job as a professional, to help you understand that and navigate that and guide you through that. Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. Yes. Not understanding that. So I try to, do little kid gloves, But still, fact still remains. And I like to use inspiration pictures. It's okay to have an inspiration picture. Like a vision board. Yeah, and if your hair cannot get to that, or if your hair is not there yet, we can talk about ways to tweak that inspiration picture and make it your own for where you are in your journey. Right. And then we'll be like, hopefully we can get there. Hopefully. That's our goal. We got a goal. Right. You gotta have hope, There you go. But sometimes, it's like, you gotta stay in your lane. Don't put your blanket on because you can't go over there. All right. So how much maintenance care and management do you want to provide your hair on a regular basis? Because again, to whom much is given, much is required. Absolutely. You want this look, it requires this level of care and maintenance on a regular basis. So how much do you want to do of this? And I often find, again, a lot of clients want a certain look, but they don't want to do what it takes to get that. My thing is, like, you're looking at a finished product online. You never saw them the morning after. There you go. You didn't see them that night. You don't know what they did to keep it up. You don't know what they look like tomorrow because they never took a picture. So you don't know if that hair still looks the same way as it did in its finished look. So I'm like, let's be realistic. Yeah. And I do have to ask, are you being realistic with yourself on how you see yourself, right? In terms of what is required to obtain a particular look and style. You know, it's like we need to keep it real with ourselves. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to try my best to be as tactful as possible, you know, and telling you like, hey, this is where we are. We can't get over there. We don't have the resources to get to that location. So here's where we're at, and we're going to have to make the best of where we are. You know, let's plant our roots here. You know, flourish and nourish here, and this is what we have. This is what we have. You know, so and I hope you can receive that well. You know, but hey, you always have options. Can, exactly. Most can, because when we give that, you know, no, you know, it's per se, when we give the no, there are always options that come behind it, you know. And sometimes, but you at least can get one, is how my motto is. Like, we at least should have one other option, where you can go if you cannot achieve that hairstyle. Now it's up to the client if they want to listen and take your advice. Now that happens a lot, where they just can't see that vision for themselves. That goes back to the question of you know, how they see themselves. I can't, you know, see the same vision that you look in the mirror and you see. I can give you, you know, what I see in you. And 9 times out of 10, since we are that professional, we do have an option of what looks nice on you, but it is up to you if you're willing and can see, you know, what our vision is of something that will look nice on you. So it's open-mindedness, you know, and we pray for that in class. Just to come with an open mind. Well, I mean, again, I did begin with saying some of us are individual. What is our time check? Because I got one more point. You have 1 minute. Okay, so I did try to refer a client to Shanna because she does like hair extensions and editors and prosthesis. I don't do that. I choose not to, right? I used to, I no longer do, right? And just like you said, you know, she decided not to. And I was really trying to push her to her because I'm like, no, she can really help you. You actually need her because you're making matters worse. Right. But she literally told me, no, I do not want to go, and I'm not going anywhere else. And that's something with speaking for yourself as well, because you know, you stand firm, and that's something that comes with, you know, years of our professionalism. Clients will try to make you do and go in areas where you're like, no, this is what I stand on, and this is how I operate. No means no. No means no. That is for us as well. I said no. Yes, and you said no, but no means no. And it's something, because when I hear some of the newer stylists, I chuckle, because it's like, been there, done that. Because when you go and you try to, you know, people please or client please, you're not doing any, you know, you're doing a disservice to your client, ultimately. And especially when you are the professional that you are, and you stand firm on where you know you can take a client and where you can get them to achieve certain hair goals. It's just no. And I'm sorry. And then you gave the option, and what you can do. So here we are, but we will do that, you know, and that's another thing of being able to refer. Right. Even though I don't do something, if I know a better route of what you're looking for, I'm gonna send you right and try to place you in good hands. You know, because Costco don't have it sound like carry. You know, so run about. Yes. And thank you for that referral. No problem. Listen, I was like, girl, I'm telling you, she right down the street. Yeah. Maybe I might see her one day. Maybe, who knows? Yeah. She might find her way here. There you go. Okay, so